to me, you have this perspective in the event space that's really interesting. You have this technology play. The world has changed and shifted quite a bit when it comes to events. Many of our customers and certainly a lot of our guests that come on the show are really bullish on events this year. What are you kind of most excited about? What are you most excited to kind of get into in terms of the world that you're in now? You've seen certainly a lot in the past year and change, but what's most exciting to you right now?
I think it's such an exciting time for events because of the technology and all of the creativity people have had to employ over the last couple of years. I mean, we saw so many really interesting products and pivots, and there was really just an acceleration of a trend that was starting to gain a little bit of traction previously. Virtual events were happening, but not to the degree, obviously, that they are now. And so people have really come to the table with some really incredible experiences that they've been able to create. And I think what's so interesting is now that we have the technology, we have all of these different options with how we engage with our audiences and the communities that they exist within. There's so many different ways that we can do it. And every single event, you want to think about what is the format that makes most sense for this particular audience. And that might look completely different from another experience that you're creating. But we have so many tools and so many options available to us. I just always think it's so interesting and exciting when any event organizer, is thinking about the experience that they want to put together, making that decision and deciding, is this going to be virtual? Is this going to be in person? Is this going to be a hybrid experience? There's a lot of different avenues that you can take and so many mediums that can get you there. And it's really cool to see all of the creative things that people are doing.
That's awesome. To me, you get a front row seat into anyone that's certainly using your platform, but seeing what are some of the creative things people are doing. I think that's exciting. What's kind of table stakes now for those chief marketing officers and marketing leaders that listen to this show, many of them in the Fortune 500? What are some things that exist that have to be there now in terms of putting on a good event, maybe regardless of size, but are the things that have become front and center more now? And if so, what are they?
Yeah, I think that something that always comes up is engagement. And I think that it's really interesting, all of the ways that you can engage through an online format that people just weren't really even aware of or didn't consider as a part of their strategy previously. And the way that you engage with your audience online is obviously very, very different than the way that you would engage with someone in person. But there's just a lot of really amazing experiences that a marketing team can put together that drive results and impact for the company. And thinking about your content and the ways that the audience can engage with speakers or engage with each other through maybe facilitated networking. There's a lot of really interesting things that you can do versus I think what the online events of the past where maybe you were just live streaming something and something was getting live streamed from your event to an online audience. You didn't really think about what's that attendee experience like, and thinking about that I think is super important. And marketing teams are, obsessing over the data that they now have from the attendee experience for an online event in a way that, people didn't really think about before. I think before we were familiar with webinars, and that was definitely something that was, a tactic that a demand gen team would employ to drive leads and pipeline. There's so much more than webinars in terms of all of the different types of experiences and events that you can create online. And you can use data to inform, decisions that you make and priorities that you decide to prioritize based off of what an attendee experience looks like online. You can see, what session did they spend their time in, and where did they go in the expo hall, or did they not go to the expo hall? How much time did they spend networking? That can help you inform future events and, really be strategic about what's landing with your audience, what's resonating, and you have that data in a way that, you may not have at an in-person event because you don't have that same level of kind of attendee information that's given to you immediately.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this channel for more great marketing interviews with today's top industry leaders. And thank you to our partners at Salesforce. Salesforce brings marketing and engagement together. Head over to salesforce.com/marketing.